Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well, and I hope that you enjoyed the reading throughout this course. I know for me personally, I gained a lot of new insight in regards to leadership concepts that have made an impact on me both personally and professionally. In regards to this week's reading, I really enjoyed learning about the life of Henry Nouwen in Soul Survivor. I thought his life was absolutely fascinating, and I would say the number one concept that immediately stood out to me was the fact that he truly took the time to get to know his followers, and he was not afraid to put himself in their shoes. I really enjoyed the example of when he goes to Peru and lives in a slum with about 100,000 people with very few possessions and seems to find the love of God through the children there. And he also mentions how we need to place ourselves in the shoes of the needy. And it's just fascinating to me that he was able to really take himself out of his comfort zone and place himself in these new environments. And that's what he felt like he was called to do. And it just reminds me that as a leader, you should know who your followers are, and you should be able to take yourself out of your comfort zone. And through that, you can reach so many people. Another concept that stood out to me was that he had the ability to take himself out of a prestigious university and go somewhere where society would say he was working with society's rejects. And he did this because in the story of the prodigal son, Jesus talks about how the father loved both the prodigal and the resentful one. And what this shows me is that a leader and as a person in general, you should love everyone the same. You should treat everyone the same, regardless of their background, regardless of their situation or where they're coming from. And so I thought that was extremely important to remember as a leader. In leading leaders, the concept of loyal leadership stood out to me. As a graduate enrollment counselor, I do have admissions goals, and I could see how the prospective students I work with might think that my only interest is to meet my goals. When at the end of the day, that's not the case. I always want to make sure that those that I feel I'm serving or leading, that I'm leading them in the right direction and that they are confident with the decision that they make moving forward with the university that I represent and with the program that I represent. So I'm always advising them to do what they feel comfortable and confident in because I want them to be secure in their decision making. So the concept of the loyal leader just reminds me that what I'm striving to practice on a weekly basis is definitely a positive thing. In regards to the leadership handbook, I really love what Maxwell shares in regards to the fact that as leaders, we can't do things alone. And he asks himself, how can I accomplish this with others? I think that's a great question. I think that it's important to remember that it takes a lot of people for someone to lead successfully. And as I reflect on my own life, there definitely have been mentors, there have been leaders, and there have been people who have intentionally invested in me to help me create this leadership style that I'm currently working on. And so I think the concept that we can't do it alone is just something that's very important to remember. That's all I have for you, and I'm excited to hear what you all have to share. Thanks so much.